Hello everyone. We have started our the second chapter, that is nothing but the plasticity characteristic of a soil. In first introductory lecture we have seen what is the definition of the plasticity of a soil and what are the reasons behind the plasticity of a soil. We have gone through what are the consistency limits that were given by Atterberg and what are the use of it, and also we know that these consistency limits are nothing but the index properties of fine grained soil. Now we are looking forward for the experimental procedure for determination of liquid limit of a soil. Okay, so before that we will just revise what is the liquid limit. So liquid limit is nothing but the boundary water content between liquid state and plastic state of a soil. This liquid limit generally depends on what type of a clay minerals are there. Okay, the clay minerals can be kaolinite, montmorillonite, holysite or illite. Okay, these clay minerals can be present. Depending on these minerals, the liquid limit will vary. The second important parameter is nothing but the size of a particle. As the size of a particle reduces, the specific surface area or the surface area of a soil particle will increase. As there will be the more surface area, there will be the more surface charge, and as there is the more surface charge, more amount of water will get absorbed to it, and because of that there will be the increase in liquid limit of a soil. So it means that finer the particle, more will be the liquid limit. Okay, so now for the determination of this liquid limit we have generally two methods, that is, one is a Casagrande method and another is a cone penetration method. As far as your syllabus is concerned, we will be going thoroughly to the Casagrande method. Okay, so in a Casagrande method we will be using a Casagrande equipment. The Casagrande tool consists of a brass cup and it is provided with a certain rotating handle. As we rotate it, the brass cup will be lifted by 1 centimeter, that is nothing but a 10 mm, and again it will be dropped by 1 centimeter. Okay, so and the platform on which this brass cup will be dropped is nothing but a rubber pad. Okay, there will be the provision of a rubber pad on which the brass cup will be lifted and again it will be dropped. So as to conduct the test, we will take a 120 gram of a soil which is oven dried and passing through 420 micron ISU. We will add certain amount of water in that and we will make a uniform paste out of it. Then that will be placed in that brass cup like this, and it will be level. It will be level in a such a way that it will be having a depth of 8 mm or 10 mm, that is nothing but 1 centimeter or 0.8 centimeter. Then after that what we will do, that we will be provided with the two grooving tools. Okay, that grooving tools are nothing but the Casagrande tool and ASTM tool. So Casagrande tool is generally recommended for fine grained soil and ASTM tool is generally recommended for sandy fine grained soil. Okay, in case of a Casagrande tool, the bottom width of a groove will be 2 mm, depth will be 8 mm and top width of the groove will be 11 mm. In case of ASTM tool, the bottom width of a groove will be 2 mm, top width will be 13.6 mm and depth will be 10 mm. So depending on the type of a soil, you will be using these tools. Okay, again the depth of a soil sample in this brass cup will be also decided depending on the type of a soil. If the soil is a fine grain, then you will be having the soil sample with the depth of 8 mm. If your soil is a sandy fine grain soil, then you will be having or you will be arranging the sample with the depth of this 10 mm. Okay, so with this grooving tool we will be making a groove in that soil. Okay, that groove will be perpendicular to the direction of your rotations. Okay, so that will be perpendicular to it. So once the soil sample is placed and the groove is made, we will be giving the rotation at the rate of 2 revolutions per second. Okay, so because of this revolution, that brass cup will be lifted and again it will be dropped. As the brass cup is lifted and dropped, this frequent procedure induces shear stresses in the soil, and that makes the soil to flow. Okay, and because of this flow, the groove will be closed, and the closing of the groove, when it is at 12 mm, then we will stop and we will record the number of this blows or number of the revolution. Okay, we should have a keen observation how the groove is closing. If it is closing by the flowing of a liquid or flowing of a soil, then it is okay, but if it is slipping, then it is not recommended. In generally, in case of a sandy fine grained soil, there may be the chance that soil may slip, but we don't want that the slipping of a soil. What we want is closing of the groove by the flowing of this soil. Okay, because we want to determine the liquid limit of a soil. As this groove is closed by 12 mm, then we will stop. We will record a number of blows required for this closure. Then again we will mix this soil sample, and again we will make it a level. Again with the same grooving tool, whichever we will be using, that will be again used, and again we will make a groove. Again we will give the number of rotations so that the brass cup will lift and drop. And when again it closes by the 12 mm along its length, then we will stop and we will record the number of blows. If this number of blows are as same as the previous number of blows, then it will be recorded. But if it is not so, then we will again repeat the procedure till we get same number of blows as in a previous reading. Okay, once this two value matches, then it will be recorded as a one reading. Like this, we will repeat the procedure for 3 to 4 times with the varying water content. The water content will be increased, again the paste will be made, and the same procedure will be repeated. Okay, so in total we will get 4 readings, that is nothing but the 4 number of blows and the 4 values of the water content. So we will plot graph between these two. The number of blows will be plotted on x-axis and it will be a log scale so as to get a straight line. The water content will be plotted on y-axis. Okay, so we got this 4 readings. Okay, and the number of blows generally vary between 10 to 40. With these 4 readings, we will plot a best fitting straight line like this. Okay, so the liquid limit is nothing but the water content corresponding to 25 number of blows from this graph. So if we consider 25 number of blows, then the water content corresponding to 25 number of blows will be reported as liquid limit, and it will be expressed to the nearest whole number. And this graph is nothing but this flow curve. It is called as a flow curve. In another word, liquid limit can be defined as the water content at which soil can resist 25 number of blows in Casagrande apparatus. The shear strength of fine grained soil at a liquid limit is generally 2.7 kN per meter square. So that's all about liquid limit test. So we know what are the consistency limits. Okay, boundary water content between the various states of a soil. Okay, so depending on this, we have developed certain terms or certain parameters that helps to identify the type of a soil. It gives the idea about what type of the clay minerals are present, or what type of a particle size is there, whether the particles are fines or not. Okay, that is identified with these parameters. Okay, so out of this parameter we will see the very first parameter, that is nothing but the plasticity index of a soil, that is IP. Okay, if you see the formula, it gives that IP is equal to WL minus WP. Okay, so it is the range within which the soil is in plastic state. Okay, WL minus WP. Okay, within this the soil is in a plastic state. Okay, so for certain soil, if we can't determine what is liquid limit or what is plastic limit, okay, then that soil can be classified as a non-plastic soil, or we say that the soil is non-plastic. But in some cases of a soil, if the plastic limit of a soil is greater than the liquid limit of a soil, okay, then the numerical difference of a liquid limit and plastic limit will be negative. Okay, but plasticity index cannot be reported as a negative value, it can be reported as a 0. Okay, another parameter is a shrinkage index. Shrinkage index is nothing but a numerical difference between the liquid limit and shrinkage limit. Okay, so in another word, we can say that between the liquid limit and shrinkage limit, there is a reduction in a volume of a soil. Okay, so the range over which there is a reduction in volume of a soil, that can be termed as a shrinkage index. That's all about the shrinkage index. The next parameter is the liquidity index. The formula for liquidity index is W minus WP divided by IP, that is plasticity index, given by WL minus WP multiplied by 100. That's all about this liquidity index. Okay, so for a certain soil, we know what are the liquid limit, what are the plastic limit. Okay, but when the soil is in a natural state, we want to identify its state. Okay, so the liquidity index indicates nearness of this natural water content to the liquid state or liquid limit of a soil. Let us take an example. If W is equal to WL, when this W, that is natural water content, is at a liquid limit, the liquidity index will be IP by IP multiplied by 100. So it will be 100. So liquidity index will be 100. Then the soil will be flowing like a liquid. So when the natural water content is at liquid limit, it will be flowing like a liquid, and the liquidity index of a soil will be also 100%. In another case, if W is equal to WP, then the numerator, that is W minus WP, will become 0. So liquidity index will become 0%. So it indicates that the soil is no more in a liquid state, it is in a plastic. So the next parameter is a liquidity index denoted by symbol IL, and it has the formula W minus WP divided by WL minus WP multiplied by 100. Okay, so this WL minus WP is nothing but the IP. The liquidity index indicates the nearness of a natural water content of a soil to the liquid limit of that particular soil. So let us take an example. If the natural water content of a soil is at a liquid limit, then the liquidity index will be 100%. So when the liquidity index is 100%, it indicates that the soil is flowing like a liquid, or it will be in a liquid state. But when the natural content of a soil is at a plastic limit, okay, that is nothing but the W minus WP, the W will be replaced by WP. Okay, so that will be indicating 0, liquidity index will be 0. Okay, so it indicates that soil is not flowing like liquid anymore, it is in a plastic state. Okay, when this natural water content is lesser than this plastic limit, okay, then the liquidity index will be reported as a negative. Okay, so it indicates that the soil is no more in a liquid state or no more in a plastic state, but it is in a hard state. So liquidity index indicates the nearness of a natural water content in a certain soil to the liquid limit of that soil. Okay, so that's all about this liquidity index. So the next parameter is the consistency index denoted by symbol IC. So as we know, the consistency can be defined as a resistance to deformation, so as to indicate the strength of a soil to deformation. Okay, so this term consistency index is developed. The formula for it IC is equal to WL minus W divided by WL minus WP, that is IP multiplied by 100. Or consistency index, in another word, we can say that it indicates nearness of a natural water content of certain soil to its plastic limit. Okay, just like that also we can define the consistency index. Suppose the consistency index is at 0%. It means that the natural water content is at liquid limit, so IC is 0. Okay, so that's why the soil is at a liquid limit and it is having negligible shear strength. So when we consider IC as 100%, okay, it means that this natural water content is at a plastic limit. Okay, so when the soil is in a plastic limit, it is relatively firm. Next, when the IC is greater than 100%, it means that this natural water content is at a lesser value than the plastic limit. Okay, so it is in a semi-solid state and it is relatively hard. Okay, so next, when the IC is negative, it means that this natural water content is at higher value than this liquid limit. Okay, so it is having no shear strength or it is flowing like a liquid. Okay, important part about this consistency index is that the consistency index is also called as a relative consistency. So next part is a flow index denoted by symbol IF. Okay, the flow index is nothing but the slope of a flow curve. As I have already said that a flow curve is nothing but the plot between the number of blows and water content. Okay, and that is derived during conduction of liquid limit test. When we conduct the liquid limit test, we will plot this graph. Okay, suppose we have two soils and we have plotted the graph for two. The first one is the soil with the black line and another soil is with the red line. Okay, so suppose for water content of a 40%, the first soil will require 10 number of blows to close the groove, while the second soil is requiring 15 number of blows. Let us take another example. For water content of a 20%, the first soil will require 25 number of blows, while the second soil will require more number of blows, that is 40 blows it is taking to close the groove. So it indicates that when the slope of this flow curve, okay, that slope is nothing but the flow index. When the flow index or the slope of this flow curve is steep, it means that it is requiring less number of blows to close the groove. But when the slope of this flow curve is flat, it indicates that it is requiring more number of blows to close the groove. Okay, it means that flatter the slope, more will be the number of blows. It means it will be having more shear strength. Or in case of a steep slope, it will be having lesser shear strength. Okay, so indirectly the flow index is indicative of shear strength of the soil. If you are having flow index of two soils, then you can easily say when the slope is flatter, the shear strength of a soil will be more, and when the slope is steep, the shear strength of a soil will be less. So flow index is a term which is derived from consistency limits of a soil. Okay, so it's nothing but the index property of a soil, but it indicates engineering property of a soil, that is nothing but the shear strength of a soil. The next parameter is toughness index denoted by symbol IT. It is the ratio of plasticity index and flow index. It indicates the shear strength of a soil at a plastic limit. The range of this toughness index is between 0 to 3. When the toughness index is smaller than 1, it indicates that soil is friable at a plastic limit. As we have defined the plastic limit, when the soil is at a plastic limit, there will be the certain cracks on the soil. Okay, but when it is friable at a plastic limit, it means that the soil will get fragmented into undesirable large aggregate. There will be not only cracks, but there will be the fragmentation of a soil. Okay, so that is indicated by this toughness index. So that's the end of this lecture today. We will see the further part in the next lecture. Thank you so much.